Hello friends, today I am here to discuss a common question that you may be asked in your first year C programming Bhaiva, or you may also be asked this question in interviews when you are a fresher. Okay, so the question is like to swap two variables. So the most common method of swapping is to use a third variable and swap. Like say you have two variables x and y. Okay, so now you want to swap the value of x in y and you want to store the value of y in x, so this is called as swapping. Okay, so we use a third variable called as temporary or t. It's a temporary variable. Now we place the value of x in t. Okay, we place the value of x in t. Okay, we store the value of y in x. Okay, and now we store the value of x in y. Okay, so by this you can change the variable, you can swap the variable. Okay, so it's very simple. You take a third variable t, we have our two variable x and y. Okay, so now store the value of x in t. Okay, then store the value of y in x. Okay, and now store the value of t in y. So by this you can swap the variable. Now, a tricky form of the question is you swap two variables without using a third variable. Okay, so you cannot use a third variable like this t, and without using t you have to swap the values of x and y. Now how to do this? So the answer is very simple. It's just a one line of piece of code. Okay, so here you are assigning your x value to y. Okay, and now you are adding x plus y. So while you are adding x plus y and you are deducting the value of x from here, so by this the value of y will be assigned to x. Okay, so it's a very simple code, it's a one line code. So y equal to x first you do, then you add x plus y, and then you deduct this value from here. So this is a common method. Now and there could be another variant of this question where you would be asked like swap two variables without using arithmetic operators. Okay, so arithmetic operators is plus, minus, you should not multiplication or division, you should not use any of these, or you should not use a third variable t, and you have to swap two values. So how to do this? Okay, now the answer to this, it lies in using other operators which are permitted. So one of such operator is XOR. Okay, so first what you do, you make x XOR y and then you store it in x. Then you take this new x what you have and you XOR it with y and you store it in y. And now like the third one, you again like the new y you take and you XOR it with x and you store it in x. I'm going to explain it to you in detail like how this is working. So now just take an example. Okay, let's say the value of x is 7 and y is 5. I'm just taking four places, so like it's for it's just for the sake, because taking around you say 16 bit or 8 bit, it's long. So I thought just I have to explain to you, so I'm taking 4 bits. Okay, you can add again the other bits for your own reference. So now when I write x equal to x XOR y, x is 0 1 1 1, XOR 0 1 0 1, the value is 0 0 1 0. Okay, so now when you XOR 0 0 1 0 with 0 1 0 1, we get 0 1 1 1. This 0 1 1 1 was the original value of x. Okay, so now when I XOR this 0 1 1 1 with again like your this original I had x was changed to 0 0 1 0 and y is 0 1 1, it XORs to 0 1 0 1, which is a value of 5. So now this value, it has been successfully changed. Okay, so do you understand like why exactly now my question, or like the interviewer, he can just typically puzzle you like why did we take this XOR operation? Like what is there in XOR that is not there in this arithmetic operators? Okay, so what do XOR contains? Like what is there in this XOR that is not present in the arithmetic operators? Just think over it. Now the basic funda is like what this thing was doing. It was taking x is equal to x plus y, then like this new x value it was deducting it from y, so y got the x value and now x will get the y value if we use this. Similarly, if we use multiplication and then again we have division, we can also do this. So can you find the similarity between these three? Do you see any similarity? Definitely these three are equal, because like you are writing x equal to x something with y, okay, and then you are writing y equal to x again something with y, some operation with y, and again you are writing x equal to x some operation with y. Okay, so now these three really they look equal, right? These three they really look equal, because like x equal to we are doing the same thing, like x some operation with y, where we are doing it. So now do you see the similarity? Okay, I'm explaining to what is the similarity. Now okay, with you have done this with XOR, okay, and now we can do this with again another operation. I'll tell you to shortly. See, here you are using plus, you are using multiplication, okay, and here you are using division, sorry, subtraction, and you are using division. The similarity between this is that, see, division is the opposite of star, minus is the opposite of plus, okay. However, XOR is the opposite of XOR. This thing is very important, and like you may find it like bit like awkward to hear, like how XOR is the opposite of XOR, how XOR is the inverse of XOR. See, you can get back like say you take a third variable x is equal to x XOR y, okay, and now you can get x and y back by using x is equal to x z XOR y is equal to z XOR x. Like say, if I take z is equal to x plus y, okay, and now we can get back x equal to z minus your y equal to z minus x. So we can tell minus is the opposite of plus. Similarly, we can tell division is the opposite of multiplication, because just replace multiplication with here and just replace division with here, okay. So these things they are opposite, okay. So now if in the if in the place of plus I use XOR, okay, like say z equal to x XOR y, and then I can get back my x by using x is equal to z XOR y and y is equal to z XOR x, okay. So XOR is the inverse of XOR, okay, just as minus is the inverse of plus and division is the inverse of star, so XOR is the inverse of XOR, okay. So if I want to have an operation that can swap the variables, so I need to have two types of operators, like one is basic operator and the other the operator it should be the inverse of the first operator. So as XOR is the opposite of XOR, I can take XOR. Okay, now if you think about this, you will see there is again one more operator which is the inverse of that operator itself, and the operator is XNOR. Okay, again XNOR is the opposite of XNOR. Just as XOR is the opposite of XOR, XNOR is the opposite of XNOR. You will ask, like, see, XOR, what it does, if it is 1 or 0, like if your X is 1, Y is 0, it gives the output as 1. And if X is 0, Y is 1, it gives the output as 1. If both X and Y are same, either 1 1 or 0 0, it will give the value as 0. Whereas XNOR, it does exactly the opposite of XOR. Okay, so if in XNOR you get this thing as 0, 1 0 it gives 0, 0 1 it gives 0, 1 1 it gives 1, and 0 0 it gives 1. So we can also use XNOR, because see, the output is just the opposite of XOR. So okay, so what you need to do, you just take inverse operation. If you take inverse operation, it itself is sufficient. Just try this with XNOR. You try it, writing it as a program, you will find that you can also reverse the bit. I have also explained it here. Now X is equal to X XNOR Y, Y is equal to X XNOR Y, X is equal to again X XNOR Y. Just these 3 lines of program, and again you can swap the variable. You can go through this example here and you can see like how it has been swapped. Okay, so now an interesting fact is that, like, if the interviewer asks you, like, can we use bitwise and bitwise OR to swap the variable? An interviewer, he can ask you this question. If yes, then how? If not, then why can't we swap these variables using bitwise and bitwise OR? So just think about it, and I'll be explaining it to you soon. Just pause this video and think about it. Now the answer to this is both bitwise and bitwise OR, they are destructive. What do I mean by destructive? By destructive, I mean that the value, when I use bitwise and bitwise OR, the results, they are not preserved. Okay, so as the results, they are not preserved, so if I am changing the value of X and Y, okay, so I am having an intermediate, okay, and then using that intermediate, I get back my swapped value of Y and X. Okay, but however, this intermediate is being destroyed when we use bitwise and bitwise OR. So the only Boolean operations that are reversible, they are XOR and NOT. Okay, so as XOR and NOT are reversible, so this intermediary, if we are using XOR and XNOR, XNOR is nothing. XNOR is made up of NOT and XOR. When you apply a NOT operation to a XOR function, you have XNOR. So when you use XOR and XNOR, this intermediary, it is preserved. So as it is preserved, we can get the value back. But this bitwise and bitwise OR, they are not preserving the values. So nowhere, if you use this, you cannot swap the variable, because as your intermediate is getting destroyed, so you cannot get your output back. Now, like, what exactly I mean by destroyed? See, when I am using bitwise AND, if I do a bitwise AND between 0 and 0, I am getting 0. If I am doing a bitwise AND between 0 and 1, it is again 0. Now, if one of my digit is 0, I cannot guess the other digit is 0 or 1. Okay, because the output, see, I am giving one digit. Okay, one digit is 0, and I am giving the output as 0, and it is told that I have used bitwise and so find out the other digit. What is the other digit? The other digit, it can be 1, it can be 0. So I cannot predict what is the other digit. Okay, but so as I cannot predict the other digit, so there is no certainty. So my answer would be always wrong. So it is a destructive operation. Similar is the case with bitwise OR. But in XOR, if I am told that okay, one digit is 1 and I am using XOR, and the output is 1. Now like I'll be asked, okay, tell like what this digit can be. This digit is bound to be, it is to be 0, because if I have 1, then 1 XOR 1 equal to 0. Okay, so this digit is definitely, it is to be 0. The value is getting preserved. However, with bitwise OR and AND, the value is not getting preserved. This is why we use XOR and XNOR in the swapping operation, but we cannot use bitwise AND and bitwise OR. So this cannot be used. If I am given an option, like say I cannot use a third variable and I cannot use arithmetic operator, then bitwise AND and bitwise OR cannot be used. Okay, so this is the answer. Now Python, we have a programming language is Python. It permits one line of code. You can write x comma y equal to y comma x. Okay, this line you can use it in Python, but I cannot use it in C. Why I cannot use it in C? Because in C, comma is also an operator. So comma is evaluated from left to right or right to left, whatever your compiler is following. So when I write this statement, it will assign the value of y to y again. Okay, it will assign this y to y, and it will keep x as it is. It won't reverse the elements in C. But this is a very good thing in Python. Like why Python is able to do this? If you have studied Python, then Python has a data structure called a tuple. It creates a tuple xy, then it packs this tuple, and then this tuple it is unpacked, and the values is assigned in reverse order. Like this when you write x comma y, it packs it into a tuple and again it unpacks. Okay, so it packs it as a tuple and again it unpacks it as a tuple and it assigns the values. Okay, so x value is assigned to y value is assigned to x, and then again this is reflected in the result. So as a result you can see that the values are swapped. Okay, so friends, this is a very common question which is being asked in the interviews, in your programming class interviews, or you may be asked this in your interviews to your recruitment process, like IT companies, they may ask this. So please take care of this, and like I gave you the reason why, like you cannot use this operator, why you cannot use a particular set of operators. I hope you find my video as useful, and thank you very much for watching.